Prudent Scholars in association with Goa Headmasters Association.
Good day, children. Today, we are going to learn about transformation of sentences. From your exam point of view, the question that you're going to get is under do as directed. Question 6C. What are the different subtopics that we are going to learn under this question? First, I will teach you how to rewrite a statement with a question tag. Then, children, the second topic we are going to learn about is complete the sentence with a suitable clause. Then let us learn to rewrite sentences using so that. Then we will be asked to combine or rewrite using to. Later we will learn rewrite using no sooner than. Then we will learn to begin the sentence with as soon as. We also will learn to rewrite sentences beginning with if and unless. And finally, in today's session, we will learn sentences to be rewritten beginning with hardly. Each of it will have its own rules. First, we are going to learn on question tags. Question tags are short additions to sentences asking for agreement or confirmation. It is commonly used in conversation. You will be given short statements. There are two types of question sentences. We use WH questions and we use question tags. By WH questions we mean what, why, which, when. Now this is not what we are going to learn. We are going to learn how to use short question tags to statements and convert the statement into a question. For that, there are certain punctuations and rules you need to understand before we begin. Question tag always begins with a small letter. I repeat, question tag always begins with a small letter. Will you, do you, D, W, shall you, S for shall, will all begin with small letter. Question mark is used at the end. Once you put your question tag, you have to put a question mark. The subject of the question tag is always a pronoun, which means will you is a pronoun. Will he is a pronoun. So the subject of the question tag has to be a pronoun. There is a comma after the statement. When a statement is given to you in the question, there will be a full stop. You've got to remove the full stop and convert it into a comma. The shortest form possible, if it is a negation, you don't put N-O-T, you put N''T. The shortest form possible is N''T to be used. Let us see what I mean. Here is what other rules I have explained. The form, we have positive question tags, we have negative question tags. By positive question tags, I mean, for a negative statement, we will put positive question tags. And for a positive statement, we will put negative question tags, which you will see on the next slide, negative. What is the format? Format of a question tag is verb plus the subject, which I said will come in pronoun, plus the question mark. What you see in red is identified as question tags. I told you verb has to begin with small letter of alphabet. The first rule that I explained previously. All verbs you have seen are starting with small letter of alphabet. Then I told you subject has to be in a form of a pronoun. See here, he, you, they, you. No names, no nouns, pronouns. I've already discussed with you in my previous session what is a pronoun. A pronoun is a word used to replace a noun. Then comes the question mark. You write the verb plus the pronoun, but you do not put a question mark, you get a big 0. So we are learning question tags, so it has to end with a punctuation of question mark. Having said that, I told you the statement comes with a full stop. You've got to remove the full stop and convert it into a comma. So these are the instructions that went by in the previous slides. Now how do we go about? Examples. If the statement is negative, the question tag you need to use is positive. Here is a negative statement. He is not clever. So you will repeat the statement. He is not clever. Is he? Suppose there was Anil is not clever. Anil is not clever was the sentence. You will write Anil is not clever. Is he and not Anil. You won't be late. You won't be late, comma. Pick from this verb. See, pick from this verb. Is he? Will. Negation changes into positive. Will you? Question. They ain't satisfied. So pick this verb. Ain't. Make it positive. Are, comma, they, question mark. They do not often pray. Do not. Do is here. Do, comma, do they. You should not be rude. Should, comma, should you, question mark. Have you understood how to add positive question tags to negative statements? Let's move ahead with negative question tags to positive statements. Look at example number 2, negative question tags. If the statements are positive, you must use negative question tags. She is beautiful. She is beautiful. Pick the verb is, comma, make it negative. Isn't she? Question mark. The apples are ripe. Are, make it negative, comma. Ain't, the apples, plural. They will come today. Will, make it negative. Won't they? Question mark, comma. Punctuations is a must to be concentrated on. We played well. We played well, comma, played is a verb. In the case of a verb, we must use verb, helping verb to do. Because this is played, simple past, use simple past of verb to do, that is did. Make it negative. So didn't we? Look here. He reads well. Again, verb. You can't say reads he, readn't he? No. In such verbs, when any other verb is used, To make the question tag, you have to take help of the verb to do. Now, reads is in simple present tense. So, take simple present tense of the third person. He does. Doesn't he? They act well. Act. Third person, plural. They act. I do, you do, we do, he, she, it does. We do, you do, they do. Do not. Don't they? So according to the tense, you will use the helping verb to do. This was simple past, you use did. This was third person singular, you use does. This was third person plural, you used do. And negated it because the statements are positive. If the statement contains, how to use the verb in the case of question text. If the statement contains a form of be, that is am, is, are, was, were. See here. She is a doctor. She is a doctor. Pick the verb is in the case of verb to be. Negate it if the statement is positive. Isn't the pronoun she, question mark. If there is a supporting verb have, has, had, pick that verb. You haven't seen this film, pick this verb. This is a negative statement, make it positive. Have you. If there is any other auxiliary verb, do, does, did, will, shall, would, may, might, can, could, ought, must, etc. Any of this, pick that verb. Now this is negative, he can't drive, the statement is negative. Make the question tag positive. Can he? Right? Let's move on. This is exactly what I did in the previous slide. Use of see. If there is a verbal word, just now we did played, reads, act. Similarly, I have put verb here. Same verb I have put, but in 3 different tenses to explain to you. So children, as said earlier by me, when I showed you the examples of played, reads, act, when there is a verbal word, leaves, live, lived, we use or make use of a helping verb to do. If it is present tense singular, we use does. If it is plural, we use do. If it is simple past, we use did. Look at these 3 examples that I've done all over again for you. Your sister lives in Spain. Lives is the verbal word. How do you convert it into a question tag? Your sister lives in Spain, comma, lives is what? Present tense, singular. Your sister, singular. So, does, use of does. Negate it because the statement is positive. Doesn't, your sister is she. Your brother lives in Spain. Your brother lives in Spain, comma, doesn't he? Your sisters live in Spain. The subject is plural. So, your sisters live in Spain. The verbal word is live. So, for plural, use do. Negate it, don't. Don't, your sisters, the pronoun is they. Don't they? Question mark. Your sister lived in Spain. Lived is simple past. So the use is did. Your sister lived in Spain. Didn't, negate, because this is positive statement. Didn't your sister, she, question mark. So I suppose you've understood the usage of question tags. I would like to take you through certain rules still further. The 2 exceptions, I want you to note them down here. I am clever. You don't say, am not I. No, ain't I? I am correct, ain't I? So am not gets converted to ain't. Is not gets converted to isn't in negation. Are not, ain't. Was not, wasn't. Were not, weren't. Has not, hasn't. Have not, haven't. Did not, didn't. Will not, won't. Shall not, shan't. Had not, hadn't. Do not, don't. Does not, doesn't. Would not, wouldn't. Should not, shouldn't. Cannot, can't. Could not, couldn't. Must not, mustn't. Need not, needn't. Dare not, daren't. This is how your question in the exam will appear. Do as directed without changing the meaning of the sentence given below. I've listed for you only one type of question, that is question tags. Rajan has bought a new bike. You can get a question like this also. New bike, comma, and you are left only to fill the question tag. Therefore, the question says, add a question tag. Rajan has bought a new bike. What is it? Has bought. So has. This is positive statement. Hasn't, negative. Rajan is he. Hasn't he? Question mark. Comma. He made sports compulsory. This is another style of getting this question in the exam. Rewrite using a question tag. He made sports compulsory. Made is what? A verbal word. So use of verb, helping verb to do comes here. Made is in simple past. So did. This is positive statement, so negation. Didn't he? Question mark. The trains are never on time. Rewrite using a question tag. Are never. Never is negative. So statement is negative. Your question tag has to be positive. The trains are. So pick are. Are never negative. So are positive, comma, are. The trains they. Question mark. Nobody has called for me. Rewrite using a question tag. Nobody, negative, has called for me. Nobody has called for me, comma. Has changes to have because this is negation. Have they, nobody, pronoun that has to be represented is with they. He isn't there today. Rewrite using a question tag. He isn't here today. Sorry, not there. He isn't here today. Isn't is negative. So the verb to be used is positive. Is he? Question mark. Now children, I want to teach you something interesting. By chance, if it comes for exams, you need to know and understand what it means. In the case of what I have discussed just now with you is the situation of assertive sentences. Suppose you're given imperative sentences. By imperative we mean sentences that begin with verbs. Statements that begin with verbs. Like for example, give water. It is an imperative sentence. In case of imperative sentences, what happens? How do you use the question tag? By chance, if such a question comes for the exam or for additional knowledge point of view. For imperative sentences, there are only two question tags. Will you or won't you? What do I mean by will you or won't you? Imperative sentences in all possible forms take second person, you. It is understood you. Give water, you give water. Don't say nonsense, you don't say nonsense. So you is implied person. second person implied. So, since it is you, the question text we need to use positive is will you and negative is won't you. Now, in imperative sentences, children, as I told you, it is only the second person that gets used. There is a normal sense and there is a serious sense. What do I mean by normal sense? And what do I implicate by serious sense? And then I'll give another example different from this example. Normal sense means give water, I'm thirsty. Give water. And you are asked to add a question tag for give water. You will, I have told you in the case of assertive sentences, for a positive statement, a negative question tag should come. And for a negative statement, a positive question tag should come. But in the case of imperative, it is slightly different. In the case of a positive statement, a positive question tag will come, if it is a normal sense. Now you will turn and ask me how to understand in their exam whether it is a normal sense or a serious sense. You imply normal sense if by chance you get imperative sentence for exam. What do I mean by that? Give water. I am thirsty, give me water. Give water, will you? Positive imperative sentence, positive question tag. Now same one in serious sense would mean what? You are fainting. You're feeling giddy. And you're asking somebody for a cup of water. Give water. Won't you? That means hurry up. Won't you hurry up giving me that little water? Give water, won't you? So same imperative sentence, but the sense in one case is normal, you're thirsty. The sense in the other case, you are seriously needing that cup of water. So in that case, you will use a negative question tag for a positive statement. Now, you will turn and ask me, I said, how do we know whether it is a serious situation or a normal situation? So you consider the situation normal from exam point of view. Look here now. Don't say nonsense. You're having fun among your friends. You're laughing things out. Don't say nonsense, comma, won't you? Negative sentence, negative question tag. Won't you? Whereas look here if it is serious. Don't say nonsense. It's nothing to laugh. It's absolutely serious. Don't say nonsense. Will you? Will you continue saying nonsense? Stop it now. See the attitude. Seriousness in the attitude and a casual attitude, normal attitude. Now I told you that question tags in imperative will take will you or won't you, because imperative sentences normally represent second person, but sometimes this had come for one board exam. Let's means let us go and eat out today. I've already done with you subject pronouns and object pronouns in my previous lesson. Us is an object pronoun of we. We is subject pronoun and us is object pronoun. So let us go out, let us go and eat out today. Rewrite using question tag. So let us go and eat out today, comma, as I told you, normal sense, positive imperative sentence, put a positive question tag. Shall, us, change to object pronoun, we. Shall we? So, what I taught you earlier, the rule, positive statements, negative question tags, negative statements, positive question tags are specifically in the case of assertive or declarative statements. And here I've given you a few examples of imperative sentences, imperative statements, how to use the question tags. If there is seriousness, then positive statement will take a negative question tag and negative will take a positive. Otherwise, in normal sense, positive with positive, negative with negative. Let us move on to the next topic under do as directed. Do as directed without changing the meaning of the sentence given below. What are you directed to do? You've got to complete the sentence with a suitable clause. We call them if clause sentences, your portion of class 9. Now children, when you say use the word if, it is conditional. The condition and expected result. If this is the condition, this is the expected, the second part, the sentences have two parts. One is conditional, one is expected result. Now when you talk about the conditional, if the conditional verb used is in the simple past, then you must use second condition, that is would. If there is, now if you take a course in computer programming, if you take, you will get a professional job. Simple future will be used here. But if this is simple past, then you will go for the second conditional would. You would get a professional job. That is how you have to concentrate when you complete the clause on the usage of verb. Normal sense, we speak wrong English. If you put here, if you took a course in computer programming, you would have got wrong English. You would get a job, a professional job. Not you will get. If you want to use will here, it has to be take here. So it is with the if clause, it should be simple present, tense usage, and with the result, it should be simple future usage. Since it is simple past here, it is second conditional usage here. Look here now. I will come with you. This is the result. If simple present. You invite me over. So you have to concentrate when you're completing these clauses with the correct usage of verb, which is not observed and taught to you children. You have to concentrate on these things. Result has to be simple future. If clause has to be simple present. Look here. He will pass this year. Result, simple future. If, what is the condition? Simple present. He studies hard every day. You write whatever reason you want, but stick to the tense. Stick to the tenses. If, now this is the if clause. If you had not wasted, past, perfect, had not wasted. As I told you here, if you took simple past, this is past perfect, had not wasted. Had wasted is past perfect. Second conditional, you would have not been in trouble today. Have you understood how to complete the sentences with suitable clauses? If clause is given, you've got to take care to see what is the tense used in if clause, simple past or perfect, past perfect. Then you make the use of would. If it is simple present in the if, it is simple future in the result clause. The sentences have two parts, I told you, if clause and the result. Look here. Your result will improve. Your result will improve. This is the result. And if clause is given to you to complete. Your result will improve, simple future. So how will you complete? What tense will you use here? Simple present. If you do your homework regularly. I will come with you. I will come, simple future, result. If you pay, simple present, my fare. If I had known, past perfect. this earlier, I would have helped you. If you will be late, you will miss the bus. Miss simple present. Very clear? Let's move on to the next topic. Do as directed without changing the meaning of the sentences given below. Now children, Ravi was too sleepy to study. Rewrite using so that. These are exchanged sentences. So that, TOO and 2. TOO and 2 comes together, and so that comes together. Now, if you are usually given TWO2 plus 2 to change into so that, or you are given so that to change into 2 and 2. How to use? Please understand the logical way of using these. So that 2 and 2. Ravi was too sleepy to study. There are two sentences here clubbed into one. You've got to divide it if you are asked to use so that. How? Ravi was so, delete to, replace it with so, sleepy that, frame another subject verb object. That Ravi is he. Look at the verb that is given here. What is the tense of the verb here? There is was here. If there is was here, you will put could not here. Remove the other two, study. Have you all understood? No. Ravi was too sleepy to study. Rewrite using so that. So children, you have to delete this two. Ravi was replaced with so. So plus the adjective, so sleepy that. Go back to the subject. He. Check the tense of the verb. Simple past, then it is could not. Delete this two and put study. Imagine the same example differently. Ravi is too sleepy to study. Ravi is too sleepy to study. Rewrite using so that. Ravi is so sleepy that he, now because there is here, you will say cannot. Delete the two and study. Have you understood how to replace? Go to the second one now. They were too excited to sleep that night. Rewrite using so that. They were, simple past again. So, replace to, excited that, go back with the subject. They, there is were here. So, could not, remove the two, put sleep that night. He is very old. He can't walk. Combined using to. He is, remove very, put too old. Now, I have shown you here how to add he could not. Now, when you are told to put two, learn to remove that. He is too old. He can't remove, replace with to walk. It is too dark for anyone to see the way. Negative sentence. Rewrite using so that. It is so dark that anyone, we will replace it, no one. It is, so can. No one is already there, so we cannot say cannot. Can see the way. No one can see the way. That we cannot, even that is not wrong. But it is so dark that there is anyone. So, we can use they cannot see the way also. It won't be wrong. Or no one can see the way. As I told you, it is so dark that They cannot see the way is also correct. Or we cannot see the way is also correct. It is so hot that we cannot go out to play. Rewrite using it is so hot that. Cancel so, replace to. The interchanging sentences. It is too hot. Cancel all this. That we cannot. We is there. We cannot cancel. So we have to put for us. Change the subject pronoun into object pronoun. It is too hot. That we cannot. For us. Add the two. I told you, you have to add this to what you are deleting. Put the two. To go out to play. Build two sentences when there is so that. Withdraw the build of two sentences when it is TOO and to. Very clear to you? Let's move on. There are more sentences. He drove so fast that the police could not catch him. Rewrite the sentences using to. He drove too fast, that the police could not catch him. Not to be caught by the police. Not to be caught because could not catch him. Not to be caught by the police. He is too busy to join us. He is so busy that he cannot join us, or he will not join us. Also not wrong. Recently, the share market crashed too low for the investor to invest in it. Recently, the share market crashed. Too is replaced by so low that the investor, share market crashed. Therefore, it has to be could not invest in it. The old man is so tired that he cannot walk any further. Rewrite using to. The old man is deleted too tired that he cannot walk any further. That he cannot delete, put to walk any further. He is too poor to buy a warm coat for winter. Rewrite using so that. He is delete to so poor that he, there is here, so cannot buy a warm coat for winter. So use of so that and use of TOO, 2 plus 2 is very clear to you. Let's move on. Oh, there are still more sentences. Let's practice them. It is so dark that she could not see where she was going. Rewrite using to. It is so dark, delete so, put to, too dark that she could not see. To see, delete all this that you add. To see where she was going. The match was too interesting to be missed. Rewrite using so that. The match was too, delete, put so interesting that. The match, it, verb is was, so could not be missed. Studies are too heavy for us to enjoy the joys of childhood. Rewrite using so that. Studies are delete to so heavy that for us we cannot, because there is are, enjoy the joys of childhood. You've got to concentrate on every intricate verb, how you're going to get your work done. You look too gorgeous not to attract anyone's attention. Rewrite using so that. You look to delete so gorgeous that you, now look is simple present, so can attract everybody's attention, or you will attract everybody's attention. They are too weary to walk. Rewrite using so that. They are so weary that they cannot walk. Very clear? Let's move on to the next subtopic. And that is again interchange of no sooner and as soon as. Now children, let us go to do as directed without changing the meaning of the sentences given below. We are going to look at the usage of as soon as and no sooner than. Again, they are interchangeable. No sooner than and as soon as. The thief attacked as soon as she opened the door. Rewrite using no sooner than. Now, along with no sooner, usually what is followed is deed. Then you have to concentrate on the tense of the verb. The verb is in the simple past, but you've got to use it. Once you use no sooner deed, you have to use it in the infinitive. And then the usage of then. Then is comparative. No sooner than, smaller than, greater than. So see here now. The thief attacked as soon as she opened the door. Rewrite using no sooner than. No sooner did she. Now open changes to open. Open the door, then the thief attacked her. No punctuation in between. As soon as I reached the platform, the train left. Rewrite using no sooner than. No sooner did I reached. Delete ed and use the verb in its infinitive form. Reach the platform, then the train left. No sooner did I reach the platform, the train left. As soon as the lost child saw her mother, she was very excited. Rewrite using no sooner than. No sooner did the lost child saw, infinitive will be see her mother, then she was very excited. No sooner did Mr. Naik sit himself, then he called for his lunch. Rewrite using as soon as. As soon as Mr. Naik, the verb now from the infinitive form has to return back to the simple past. Seated himself, he called for his lunch. No sooner did the monsoon start than the farmer sowed the seeds. Rewrite using as soon as. As soon as the monsoon did, so start is in the infinitive. Started, the farmer sowed the seeds. No sooner did the door open than the lady stepped out. Rewrite using as soon as. As soon as, because there is deed, it is open, infinitive. Opened, the lady stepped out. The boy jumped into the boat as soon as it touched the shore. Rewrite using no sooner than. No sooner did jumped. No sooner did the boat touched the shore. So did the boat touch, infinitive form, the shore, then the boy jumped in. As soon as the hunter fired the shot, the deer ran away. Rewrite using no sooner than. No sooner did the hunter fired, changes into infinitive, fire the shot, then the deer ran away. Very clear? The last two ones now. No sooner did I pass the town hall, then I saw a crowd in front of the bulletin board. Begin with as soon as. As soon as I pass, because there is deed, it is passes infinitive. Passed the town hall, I saw a crowd in front of the bulletin board. Please remember, no sooner did, you have to also drop then also for as soon as. Then should not be written. No sooner did the mother see her son, then she embraced him immediately. Begin with as soon as. As soon as the mother, see is in the infinitive because there is deed. Saw her son, drop then. Concentrate on dropping then with the use of as soon as. She embraced him immediately. Now we have done about if, but this is now again interchangeable with if not and unless. The negative conditional. Same procedure as told to you by me. There are two parts in the sentences. Part 1 is the if not or unless clause, and part 2 is the result. In the case of if not, I already told you, the tense to be used is simple present, and in the case of result, it is simple future. Unless the machine is oiled, it will give trouble. Rewrite beginning with if. Now, if has to come with if not because they are negative conditionals. So, replace unless with if. If the machine is not oiled, it will give trouble. Unless he is very ill, he would be at work. Rewrite beginning with if. If he was not very ill, he would be at work. I shall come if I am invited. I shall come if I am invited. Interchangeable, I said. Rewrite using unless. Unless I am invited, I am invited. I replaced if with unless. Do not repeat if after that. I shall not come. I will go to Bangalore if my leave is sanctioned. Rewrite beginning with unless. Unless my leave is sanctioned, I will not go to Bangalore. She should be here by now if she wasn't stuck in traffic. Rewrite using unless. Unless she was stuck in traffic, she should be here by now. Do as directed without changing the meaning of the sentences below. Now we are going to learn, children, how to use hardly in the sentences. Replace with the use of hardly. As I told you, no sooner immediately is followed with deed, no sooner deed, and then accompanied by then. And the verb changes to the infinitive form. Similarly, there is rule here also. Hardly is accompanied by had, and because we accompany it by had, did plus infinitive in the no sooner case, had is accompanied by past participle and when instead of then. So these are the things you have to concentrate when you are told to use hardly and no sooner. In the case when you are asked to use as soon as, you've got to drop then. Change the verb into simple past. So these are little intricates you need to concentrate on. So hardly had the mother. Now fortunately this is a regular verb. So switched is past simple also and switched is past participle also. Off the lights when, remove the punctuation, remove the capital, when the baby started crying. We started playing football. Mother called us to do homework. Rewrite with hardly. Hardly had, we again started is simple past. Started is also past participle. Hardly had we started playing football when, remove the point, full stop, remove the punctuation, capital, mother called us to do homework. They spoke these words, the door opened and Aaron himself stood before them. Hardly had they, now here you understand. Spoke is an irregular verb, speak is an irregular verb. So speak is simple present, spoke, and past participle is spoken. So don't think the verb is kept as it is. No, it is past participle that is replaced because there is had. Hardly had they spoken these words when full stop is removed, capital is removed, the door opened and Aaron himself stood before them. I thought of having an ice cream. My friend bought one for me. Hardly had I, past simple and past participle are coincidentally the same. So hardly had I thought of having an ice cream when punctuation is gone, my friend bought one for me. Thank you, children. This is all that I have for you today. But children, I want you to visit this video again and again until you get the feel of the rules to be applied. Thank you and have a nice day.